For those of you who haven't met Warren before, he's the Director of Howard Business and HR Solutions. He's been a YTM participant right from the very beginning. Warren's business helps organisations build great cultures that attract and retain the best people. His career has spanned from corporate to consulting and now coaching for small to medium businesses. He loves working with business owners and leaders to create and grow sustainable and profitable businesses. So I will remove myself and hand over to you, Warren.
Thanks, Karen. Hi, everyone. Now I'm just going to share my screen and bring up a slideshow. So just bear with me for one moment. Hello. So without change, there is no progress. And without influence, there's no change. For most of my career, I've worked with organizations and individuals to help them implement and lead successful change. What I've learned is that if you want people to own the change, you have to bring them with you. You see, change is a journey, not a destination. Let me give you an example. When I was a young consultant, I had to go to a client site to talk to them about a new system they were implementing. But when I got there, it was obvious that they were not happy. To put you in the picture, these guys were quarry workers. They broke rocks for a living. And looking at some of them, they could do that with their bare hands. The problem was, they hadn't been consulted about the change. They didn't know why it was happening or what it was going to do. And they had questions and they wanted answers now. So what I learned from that was that many people don't like change, especially change that is imposed on them. Now, I'm sure many of you will have experienced a change that went badly. So is it any wonder that research by McKinsey & Company, the global consultants, found that 70% of organizational change efforts failed to deliver on their stated results? And I believe this is because mostly they forgot that change is a human experience. You see, it's all about people. The trouble is, many leaders treat change like a transaction, like flicking a switch to get from A to B. These guys get so caught up in the end game that they forget about the fact that it's a journey to get there. And people need time and encouragement and support to make the transition. So you need to understand what influences whether people resist or embrace change. And you know what? The most powerful influence is fear. Fear of the unknown or fear of loss. These are the two most powerful barriers to change. You see, if we feel like we're going to lose something, like control or power, then we're likely to resist the change. And it seems like we'd rather put up with things that we don't like than deal with the unfamiliar. What neuroscience research tells us is that change upsets our natural order, and uncertainty registers in our brain like something that needs to be corrected, an error, if you like. So we'd rather avoid it. But the way we respond to change is also influenced by what I call the 3 Ps: perception, past experience, and our personality. And as a leader of change, you need to be across all these things, because if you fail to plan for the impact of change on people, then in fact, you plan to fail. But you do need a plan, a roadmap, if you like, and it's called the 4 stages of change. And I'll still illustrate this with a short story. The CEO of a major bank had a grand vision for expanding into Asia, but he was frustrated by the lack of uptake for his change. And his leadership team said to him, "Your vision for the future is great, but it's like you're up on a hill and all our people are down here in the valley, stuck in today's reality. They don't see things as clearly as you do." So before people will commit to change, you need to lead them through the 4 stages. Stage 1 is awareness, and you need to give people as much information as possible about what is happening and why. But even then, they still may be in denial. Stage 2 is about building understanding and lowering resistance. You need to listen and answer people's questions openly and honestly. Stage 3 is the real turning point. This is where acceptance starts to build. and you should involve people through training and education so that you can build their confidence and their buy-in. And finally, in stage 4, this is where the change becomes real and people start to own the new way of working. And your role is to provide encouragement and recognition to help them sustain that level of commitment. Now, successful change takes time. And if you want to skip steps, then this will only create the illusion of speed. You see, think of it like changing gears in a car. If you try and start in third or skip a gear, most likely you will stall. So here are 3 things that I've learned about influence and change. 1, change is a journey. Number 2, without change, there's no progress. But not all change is good for everyone. And finally, as a leader, you can influence positive change, but don't forget the impact on people. So remember, be the change you wish to see in others.